Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, aristocrats and noblemen. Welcome to another video of um, 11 minutes of spirituality. And I've chosen this title for my channel, 11 minutes, because it's one and one, which means being at one with every one of your decisions, being at one with reality, being truthful and honest, being faithful, being one and one with love, and being one and one with energy, with everything, conscious energy, being conscious of your own energy. And this channel and every video that I create here and post online is meant to be an inspiration to awaken your spirituality and reclaim your own spirituality. That's very important for me. It's very important to awaken the spirituality inside every single individual, because churches and religion do not own your soul. You are a soul. If you're in your body, or if you're outside of your body, or if you're in the next world, or if you're in this world, it doesn't matter, because you're a soul to begin with, and souls do not die, and they are not born, so they've always existed, and that's the mystery of life. Because where does the universe end? What was before the beginning? Those questions can only be answered by eternity. Those, by spiritual matters. And I'd like to speak a little bit about reincarnation in this video. And before I get to reincarnation, I'm going to quote a good friend of mine that said, everything is energy in wavelengths. We might think that body, our body is matter, or anything is matter. But if you look at it at an atomic level, atomic and neutrons and electrons and protons and all this, everything is in vibration. Everything. Because an atom consists of particles that are in motion. Always. They're in constant vibration. Even a stone, if you take a stone, for instance, we might look at it and say, okay, it's solid material, but look at it at a microscopic level and you'll see it's atoms. And what is an atom? Somebody once said, correct me if I'm wrong, that an atom is like one little pea, one little dot on a big football field, which means that most of the atom is empty space. And what does that mean? It means that most of matter is actually empty space in vibration. So you are mostly empty space in vibration. And which means what holds you together, what keeps you together, is your soul, your spirit, your being, your aura, your everything. That's your reality. And you know that when anyone walks into a room, you see, you feel this vibration. I mean, look at anybody walking in on stage. You see a very magnetic personality. You see that person has an aura, has a very big radiance. Now, knowing that we are souls in vibration, that's the reality. We know that we are here on this earth. You watching this, you know that you have certain feelings and you have certain problems. Everybody has one, or many, and it's reoccurring stuff. And you wonder, what am I going to do with this? And why am I always, why am I always going back to the same problem over and over, like a replay, like an old record that goes over and over? Why am I doing that? What is happening here? And those are the things that you brought with you into this world. Most probably it's something that maybe you encountered it as an early child, but most probably you brought it with you because you came here to solve that. And you came here with knowledge and with feelings and stuff that went on in your life, stuff that are there, and you can't explain why they're there. For instance, before I get to the reincarnation part, that you might be talking about a song that you haven't talked about for a long time. You talk about this song with a buddy, and you haven't heard this song for years. And then you hear it on the radio. After you talk about it with your pal, you hear it on the radio the next time. So those are consistencies. And if it's self-fulfilling prophecies, Celestine prophets, whatever, might be true. But it's energy, and the energy goes out, and it comes back to you. Everything is energy. So having said that, that your energy has transported into your body, into the body you are now. You might have been a homeless person in the 19th century. You might have been Victor Hugo in the 19th century. You might have been Queen Elizabeth many, many years ago. You might have been a janitor in the 18th century Paris or something. Who knows? And energy transports itself. Energy never dies. Nothing dies. Electricity, sound waves, nothing dies. Those are things that, if sound waves don't die, they say sound waves go out into the universe and are never die. Your energy, so why should you die? Your eternity. There was a little boy called James, and he was about 2 years old. And he started speaking about little man crashing into sea. And his parents were certainly not talking about, reincarnation or souls wandering from body to body or anything like that. They were pretty down to earth people. But anyway, James woke up 2 years old and saw himself in a trapped in something. And it turned out that as James grew older, he started talking about pilots, being a pilot, and how Second World War planes work. And anytime he saw one of those planes, he explained to his dad, and his mom, look, you have to pull this lever if you do this and you do that. And it turned out he knew where he, in his earlier life, had crashed with his plane, in what place it crashed in the Pacific. He knew his sister's name. He knew the name of his plane. He even knew what plane he had before he crashed with his other plane. He knew the name of the battleship that he flew from. He knew his sister's name. And, his parents thought, these are just things that James is making up. But the fact of the matter is all these things proved to be true. And it was all right. Everything was right with what he was saying. And he found his sister's name. He even knew his former sister's nickname. And they found his sister was an old woman at that time. And what I'm saying is, what sort of concludes my 11 minutes, which began with my talking about energy, is you might have a psychological problem and, a reoccurring thing. Consider at least going in. Number one, reclaim your spirituality, because you don't have to pay anyone. You do not have to pay anyone to have your spirituality, because you don't, you are a spirit. God is in you. The energy is in you. You have a link to God within you. You don't need to pay anyone church taxes for your spirit. And having said that, you might find, and really, you have a mission in this life. Life is very important. Life is extremely important. So be true to the people that you love in this life. Be true to the people that mean something to you in this life. Be true to the people that means that where they need you, and be true to life, So be in this life. But if you have problems in this life, consider actually where these problems come from. Search within yourself. Maybe in your feelings you will find that a problem you have in this life might have come from an earlier life. But there you have to search your feelings, like Luke in Star Wars. Search your feelings. What Obi-Wan said to Luke. There are lots of truths in Star Wars. Look back, and don't be afraid to make illogical, connections in your brain. Because it might be that you find that some things that you like, some things that you're really, periods in history that you like, were periods where you were happy in your former life. Periods that you don't like might be periods where you, where you have problems, So start making connections, but very important. Be true and faithful in this life. Those were my 11 minutes of spirituality for today. Hit the like button, subscribe, and keep rocking.